also to the town, in that we will not need to depend on the municipality to supply us water during the critical dry months every year. This project is estimated to cost the school in the region of rupees 40 lakhs. At the northern end of the chapel gardens lie the graves of Bishop Westcott and Padre Leblond. Both their tombstones were refurbished in new granite during the winter of 2003. In 1982, under Mr. Harry Dang's rectorship, the new primary wing came up in the area below the chapel, where the older boys will remember they used to roll down the cut side. The primary wing, which today has 220 boys, is virtually semi-independent with their own dining hall, kitchen and dormitories. But the space is still a constricting factor, and there are plans to extend the East Block buildings, seen here on the right of the picture, so as to ease living space and also to give them their own spacious hall for concerts and other entertainment programs. This is Carter's Field, below the municipal water tank. This used to be a part of the Terpsithia estate and was acquired around 1955 thanks to the effort put in by Mr. Joke, the then estate manager. Below the field is a large house, also called Carter's, which houses 4 teachers of the school. Let us now walk back towards the school. Yes, this is Johnson Hall. The dormitory houses boys of classes 7 and 8, and mercifully, we have managed to get rid of all the double-decker beds so that boys can now live in a healthier and more hygienic atmosphere. This has happened mainly because of the new Millennium Block that came up over the period of 1999-2001. What you see here are the 3 floors of dormitory space, each housing 30 boys, that has come up on the northwest face of this complex. Each floor has its own hall master. The main block of this building houses various labs. On the top floor is the computer center, now equipped with 30 of the latest machines with 24-hour internet connectivity. Immediately below that is the biology, physics and chemistry laboratories, and in the basement are 4 junior wing classrooms. Incidentally, there are about 240 boys studying in classes 6 to 8, which make up the junior wing. Looking beyond the Millennium Complex is a familiar mountaintop that some of you may have visited. Can you name this peak? Yes, you're right. It is Sandakphu. Next to the Millennium Complex, this basketball court has come into existence. Underneath this court is the completed first phase of our water harvesting scheme. There is a 10 feet deep tank which collects the rain-off from the Millennium Building and stores up to 400,000 liters of water. This is then pumped up to the main water tanks and filtration plant next to the tennis courts, which we will visit a little later. Let us now go into the prep hall. The hall is now too small to house the entire school, but it continues to remain the hub of all entertainment activities: elocutions, quizzes, house concerts, the school play, the musical soirees, and of course the Saturday night movies, though we do not use the grand old 35mm projector anymore. We show films on DVD players through an overhead projector. Ah, here is another shot of the quad. And yes, that is the rector. And behind him are the hordes of tourists who have flocked to the school ever since Shah Rukh Khan's Main Hoon Na was released. Mind you, this does not happen during school days. Now that the labs have been shifted to the Millennium Complex, the school infirmary has gone back to where it always used to be, in Lefroy. Here is a look at the good old MCR. And next door, this room, which once housed the chemistry laboratory, has now been converted into a multi-purpose audiovisual lecture room, equipped with an LCD projector. And here in the corridor are some of the honor boards that grace the main school building. The Centenary Hall and Lyle Hall dormitories are being equipped with modern toilets and bathing spaces. Work has begun, as you can see, and when finished, these toilets and bathrooms will look somewhat like this. Here we are at the water tanks. Old-timers will remember there used to be only one tank. We now have 3. And this is the water filtration and treatment plant from where the water is supplied to the rest of the school after proper treatment. On the other side of the water tanks lie the basti. Nothing much has changed here over the years, except for constant repairs, but the domestic staff are now blessed with a swanky community hall. Indeed, further down in the Alubari area of the estate, a group of prefabricated huts have come to accommodate the domestic staff. Beside the water tanks stand the rather forlorn-looking tennis courts. The courts desperately need to be resurfaced. Given the poor quality of the service, tennis is only played at the very elementary level at the moment, and this is a pity. We hope that with adequate sponsorship, we will not only be able to resurface the courts, but also give it some sort of an enclosure which will enable the boys to play the game all round the year. This is a shot of the famous quarry. We are told that the granite from this quarry was used to construct some of the school's main buildings. We now hope to erect old polite cottages in this site. Old boys who come up to the school always express the desire to stay within the school campus, and we have now completed the plans for such cottages. But the funding is another matter, which we hope the old Paulites will look into themselves. This is the old Mount Vernon top and water tank. In an earlier period, boys used to come up here in a procession on Ascension Day. But this is not possible in this day and age, what with the total strength of the school being nearly 700. This is Dawkins, one of the oldest buildings on the estate, and famous for being the birthplace of the beautiful Vivian Leigh. Adjacent to this house is the school basketball court. Incidentally, the court looks out towards Cathedral in the distance. Did any of you walk there during your days here? This court was resurfaced with the help of the old boys in 1993, but needs another coat of resurfacing. Next to the basketball court, a new set of star flats came up in 2000 to accommodate 8 families. This building has been named Gibbs after Mr. David Gibbs. And as we walk down this hill, we come to Benson's, completed in 1965 by Mr. Gibbs himself. It houses 6 families, besides which stands Pelly's, traditionally the home of the senior master. Today, it also houses 4 other teachers. This, of course, is the band room. It started as an art room under Mr. Munshi, but was so damp that the paintings wouldn't dry, so Mr. Gibbs converted it into a band room. Today, one half is occupied by the lathe machine workshop, and the other half serves as a garage for 2-wheelers belonging to the staff. And that then brings us back to where we started from. You will have seen that many things remain the same, while so much has changed in many other ways. Today there is a great need for us at St. Paul's to march on with the times and offer newer creature comforts to the students, as well as augment our resources so as to enable us to stay on top of the best schools of India. We are doing our best, and we hope you will also chip in with your advice and suggestions, and more importantly, with your concrete help, so that we can move from strength to strength as we come closer to celebrating 200 years of this great school in a few years' time. Monite Meliora Sequamur.